Why do we give so much attention to the people who are not crazy about us than the ones who are? Why do we give so much thought to the people who can take it or leave it with us instead of focusing on the ones who love us? Why is this? Is it human nature? So I thought of this question last night. I was at a dance and I'm dancing the whole night, dancing my head off with tons and tons of people. And I thought of, why am I focusing my attention on the one or two people who don't ask me to dance or who, seem busy when I suggest dancing? Why is it that occupies my mind instead of the person I'm dancing with who's so happy to dance with me? When I was speaking, why do I give so much attention to the lady in the 10th row with her shoulders kind of back and her arms crossed, who looks like she's not enjoying it? There's 108 people in the room. 107 of them are smiling and clapping and laughing their heads off at the stuff that I say. And then there's this one arms crossed lady. Why do I give her all my attention? Why am I trying to win her over? Is this human nature? I don't know. I found out later with this one lady, this was 20 years ago, 15, and I still remember it. I found out later that she said, I was really concentrating. I loved your speech. So we don't even always know, right? But what if we're right? What if those people really don't love us? Is that so terrible? And why does everyone in the whole wide world have to love us? And I'm reminded also of, about the not knowing thing. I'm reminded of that Stephen Covey, the opening of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He tells a story of a guy who's in the subway with his 4 children, and the children are rambunctious and running all over the subway and yelling and screaming, whatever, just not behaving, according to all the other passengers. And somebody's kind of says to him, "Sir, are those your kids? Why don't you do something?" And he goes, "I'm sorry, they're just coming from their mom's funeral." Total paradigm shift. So why is it that we do this? And if we're really right, maybe this person really isn't our biggest fan. Why is it that it's more important to us that this one person love us than all the other people who do? Why is it that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence? I have eventually danced with some of these people that I thought, didn't want to dance with me or whatever, and it's no big deal. It wasn't so great. So why was I looking over the shoulder of the nice smiling person that I am dancing with to see the person who is not dancing with me or not asking me to dance or so-called ignoring me, which probably is not the case at all? Why is this friend of mine who all of a sudden said, I'm really busy, meaning she doesn't want to get together, why am I so obsessed with that instead of the dozens and dozens of friends who keep asking me out for lunch that I don't have time to meet with? Why am I obsessed with her? Why am I... Oh, and then I start playing the why game. Do you play the why game? Don't play the why game. The why game is, well, why doesn't she have time to meet with me? Why this? Why that? And I saw later, she posted on social media several years later that she was going through a challenging medical situation. She didn't tell me that, and I'm assuming it's about me. And so instead of being a good, caring friend and inquiring, whatever, I'm obsessing with, why am I being rejected? Why am I this? Why am I that? Why do we do this? I know it's human nature, but we got to stop the madness and we got to start focusing on our fans. You know how they say, strengthen your strengths, not your weaknesses, right? Why do we focus on our weaknesses? Why do we focus on the people that we think don't love us? Why do we focus on the people who don't flock to us, who don't seem to like us, who don't fawn all over us, who don't clap when we speak? Why don't we focus on what's right in front of us, right? So if you're playing the why game, as last night at the dance, there's a person, and the last interaction I had with this person was 2 years ago. We had a political discussion and we did not agree about anything. Is that why he's not dancing? The why game, there's no good answer to the why game. And even if there is, you're not going to figure it out. And even if you do figure it out, there's nothing you can do about it. So here's my message to you and to myself, like most of these videos are really just messages to myself. don't play the why game and focus on your fans. Tell me in the comments, do you do this? Come on, I know you do. Do you do this? Have you done this? Why do you do this? Why do you think we all do this? Is this human nature? Let me know in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe. This is Sufit coming to you from the Follow That Dream studio. Ciao, ciao.